something that I got ahead of when I introduced that book, John Eldredge's Wild at Heart, was that I didn't talk about really the principal theme of the book is how we as men weren't fathered. And that's a kind of an elusive topic. There are a lot of people that will say, well, I had a dad, my father was never in the picture, but I had a dad. And it could be a person that maybe it was a stepdad or another person that played a part in terms of just being present, kind of talking to them. And there's really a fundamental misunderstanding of what constitutes fathering, because fathering has to come from either our earthly father or our heavenly Father. Now, we can receive many different things from another person or persons that help us to navigate certain things, but only certain people can actually confer to us what we need in life. And so, because today we are now probably at least 3 generations into what amounts to our fatherless generations of men that haven't been fathered, or insufficiently or inadequately fathered. And so what you have now is what you see today, so much of the unrest, the chaos, it's a lack of actual fathering. And so what has to happen is that we need to be fathered. And I know firsthand what that means. I have a wonderful dad, an earthly dad, who himself unfortunately didn't know what fathering was. And so he was just doing the best that he could with what he had. And that's what happens with us as men, is that we can only give what we've been given. We can't give what we don't have. And so there's a conflict that arises, which is, well, I know that I should be present, or I should be able to give this, and I'm supposed to be able to give this, but I don't have it, or I have it inadequately. So you fake it till you make it. And boy, does that get us in trouble, because we don't ever make it. We just keep faking it. And that's when the poser, as John Eldredge calls it, it's this paper mache person that comes out. And so we need to be fathered. And that is kind of where the book ends, is, hey, guess what? You need to be fathered. But then he introduces another book called Fathered by God that really is the follow-up to it. And it's necessary because he begins to outline in a more clear fashion what it means to be fathered, how God does it in our life in a meaningful way, in a significant way, particularly if our fathers weren't present, or we can't be fathered, or name what could ever happen in all these different situations. But it's a very real thing, I can assure you. It's a very kind of a mythical kind of process, for lack of a better word, but it's very, very real. And it's very, very necessary for us to be able to be the sons that we really are.